Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat. So it is Watercolor Wednesday. Today we're going to paint some lavender. I've mixed up kind of some grayish green I'm just using my Arteza 36 pan watercolor. They come with all the colors. I don't know what the colors are. I apologize. I know I keep saying this, but I have people ask. So anyhow, that's what I'm using. So I don't know which green what the color is, but I'm using green, some navy, and some violet to mix together to get that color. So yeah, that's what I got going on. So just play with whatever your colors are, just play with them. And because a lot of paints have the same colors. I mean, of course, they might be a little different from each other because they're a different brand or whatever, but essentially a lot of it is the same. So I'm just going to take some of my green concoction here and get some background color going, just because I like that. You don't have to do that. You can wait until after. If you want to add color, you can add color later, whatever. I kind of like to do it this way. So I like having the color on it. So that's what I'm going to do. But you can do whatever, because I am not a watercolor artist. I'm going to pause for a minute, get this dry, and then we'll paint. I don't want my stems and stuff to bloom, so just a minute. Okay, I've got that pretty much mostly dry. So I have that, and then I did add just a little lime green, so I kind of have two colors there just to play with. And we can change things up if that's what we need to do. I have this little zero rigger from Arteza. I'm not really sure. I just like it because it's a small little paintbrush there. And I'm just going to kind of give us a stem here. And I'm just going to kind of wing it. When we went to the birthday party yesterday, it was my husband's cousin's husband's birthday. I just slipped. And but anyways, they have a lovely yard, and they've got all kinds of lavender plants, and I was like, ooh, that would be so fun to try to do some lavender, right? So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to kind of do some couple stalks of it, because as you all know, if you've seen lavender growing, it grows in a big bush. I don't want to do a whole bush. I just want a few stalks. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. How are you all doing today? I hope you're doing wonderfully. I'm having a pretty good day. Just been kind of hanging out with my son. Had a little lunch with him. I ran errands earlier, and he doesn't have work today, so he's just here. It's just a lot of fun having, you know, somebody around when you come home and all that. Again, for the summer, and next week, I think it is next week, my daughter will be back for a week because she's doing 2 band camps this summer. So she's got one real close near our house. So she's like, I'm just gonna stay with you guys. It's like, yeah, that makes sense. So I'm gonna take these bigger brushes out for now, and we're gonna do some flowers, some of the lavender. So I'm gonna kind of use, actually I'm gonna mix it with a different brush. Periwinkle, a periwinkle blue, and then the violet, I think, together. We'll see what we get, because they're kind of, I mean, they're definitely purple for sure, but they do have that little fleck of, actually we'll use a little purple too, blue to them. Wow, it's scary sometimes. I think that's probably very close. Might be able to use this one to do this part. This is a 8 round, and this is also Arteza. I think they have great supplies. I mean, I wouldn't know. I'm not like a aficionado, but And you're kind of just gonna, some of them look just like sort of blobs, and other ones look more like, you know, they actually have like little petals. They're actually sort of like little tubular things. But I mean, obviously we don't have to get like that picky about it. I've got like too much water on my brush, I think. I want it a little bit less of a blob there. So anyway, some of them kind of do look more like sort of cuppy, you know, and other ones just sort of look like spots or dots or whatever you want to call it. But you can get as fancy as you would like, obviously. Just, like I mentioned, I would look up lavender. It's kind of the best way to do it. To see what your brain thinks that they look like. But a lot of people that I've seen do like paint lavender will just sort of blah blah blah, you know, obviously more experienced than I am, because I that sort of makes me nervous. But if you're comfortable, you do it however you want. And I will get quiet because I'm concentrating. But oh man, does the lavender smell good? I was sitting at the table and nice, beautiful, fresh lavender there. It smells excellent. And we will put some leaves on these too. I just wanted to get kind of where I wanted the purple part. And they aren't like super, I mean, they're fairly tightly bunched because they're kind of like in individual little clusters. So within their little cluster, they're tight, but on the branch, there is some space. So that's what I'm trying to say. Too much water again. But pretty easy, really, because, you know, nobody can say, I mean, I guess they could say it's not right, but like, how technical do we need to be here? They're little bunches of purple flowers. And they kind of do, like, they're bigger at the bottom, a little bit smaller at the top, which I'm not really succeeding at, but again, I am also learning right along with you guys here. That's why I say this isn't a tutorial. Okay, I think that will be good. Just adding some extra little blops and dots. Kind of widen them out a little bit at the bottom more. Okay. I think I might try this brush for the leaves and we'll see what we get. I don't know. No promises here. Just a little bit more of this to gray it up just a little bit more. Okay, and their leaves kind of go straight up, and they sort of like both come from the same, and I'm just putting like a little more pressure in the middle and lifting at the end, and that kind of helps get that point. Sort of, they're not super pointy leaves. They're a little bit more of like a rounded top, but I don't want them super rounded. Okay. A little darker than I want, but it matches the base, so get a little bit of this lighter to go along here. Oops, darn. Get some of that water off. I just forget I can just do that. Rather than fighting it, right? I'm just taking my time. Okay, they kind of like meet each other, both of the leaves, but I'm going to do one a little different just because I want to have it a little curved at least, right? Okay, and then you can make them as short or long as you like. I think I've got them a little long, but it's fine. I mean, they are pretty simple leaves on them. Going across the other one there. So I'm going to want to fill that in pretty good because I want it to look like that one's behind this one. So if you wanted it in front, obviously you would need to make this leaf look like it was behind that. I do need some work with doing the smaller areas. It is a little tricky. But it doesn't have to be perfect. I don't know, I had a reference picture. It's always good to have a reference picture, and I just went on to Pinterest and just typed in lavender, and then you can get, you know, an idea of how the leaves are and whatever. Or you can just do it from memory if you're good at that, or like if you have them in your yard or something like that. It's a good way. There is just a little bit more. kind of want a greeny or green, you know, adding some more of a lime color. Just to give a little variation. Okay, maybe I will use a littler one. I'm just kind of making a mess. Now my brush is bent. Don't you hate that? It's only been in the water for just that short amount of time, and it's bent. Just want a little bit of that there. I just said don't make that look like that one's in front of it. Okay. Go put more here. I feel like it needs another one there, but you guys can tell I'm like, yes, no, yes, no. I don't know if I want another one. I'm afraid I'm gonna mess it up. So maybe I'll just go with that for now and see how I feel about it after. Okay, we're gonna add a little bit more purpley purple. Just the regular purple here. On these, just to give them some interest. And we're just adding more dots. Nothing super technical. Just gonna add another layer, which is always a great idea. Adding layers. Because even if it doesn't make it necessarily, well, I mean, it does add a realness to it if you do that. Because obviously everything has layers, right? Nothing is like completely just flat. So now those have become kind of like our background flowers, and then there's more on top of them or next to them, or however you perceive it. And some I'm even going off onto the white. Okay. All right, I think those are looking pretty good. I'm gonna get those dry because I want to add some yellow up there too, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and now we're gonna do some yellow. If I can ever get my brushes all the way clean here. I'm telling you, yellow's the bane of my existence with this getting dirty thing. And it just destroys the color of it. I mean, it's not like some things where you can get away with it. And I even washed them out today. But then I just messed it up again. Sorry, I just bumped you guys. Now it's just the littlest bit of yellow. Sorry, I bumped you again. It's right near the water, so I keep hitting the light bulbs. Oh, and somebody was asking me what this is. It's just a light that goes over my phone. It gives light to the phone, so then it looks brighter. I don't know. I'm not very technically a genius or anything, so I don't always get it, but it works. And I'm just adding, you know, dots of yellow, just so we get some of that. Because there's not a lot, but there is a little. And you can do them just purple if you're like, I'm not gonna do all that. You don't have to do it. It's just they do have some yellow. Because, you know, most of the ones I've seen have just the purple. And that's all you need. Got a little carried away right there. Kind of adding just some spots here and there that are just on the white, because it'll just pop out more than it's going to on this purple. So that your brain will say, yes, there is yellow there. Okay, so now we're gonna take our pen, I think, yeah, we're dry enough, and kind of just go on these. And they kind of have sort of a line on down the middle. Oh, I gotta move this. And then I'm gonna do my same little scribbly thing because I like it. But if you want to keep yours looking cleaner, then obviously you don't need to do this. I just like the way it comes out in the end. The bees were just loving that lavender last night. It was so cool. They're always adorable, those bees. Wasps you can have, but I do love the bees. We get wasps really bad. In fact, this weekend I knocked down 2 nests. Scared the bejeezers out of me because I went out to water and they had a nest going on our banister of our porch, and I was like, I'm not having that. And then there was another one up by our, we have rain chains here. I don't know what you guys had, you know, when I was growing up, we just always had gutters, but in Idaho, they have rain chains, which is just a great big chain that the rain runs down, if you're not familiar. And I'm not going to be super precise here at all. I'm just kind of doing my little scribblies wherever I feel like it. Just add another layer, right? We just keep doing the layer thing. But it really does make a difference. It really is that way. It seems for every art, in my opinion, because like our paperwork, you know, like collaging and all those things, the best things always seem like they have layers, I think. you guys that. Just the scribblies like we've been doing. And if you don't want to do them, don't do them. I'm not saying you got to do them. You do you, boo. Okay, do we want to do... I'm going to do some splatters, but I don't know that I want to stamp on it. Let's do some purples. Need some more purples, though. Not yellow. There's a glob of yellow in there. I don't want yellow. Oh, actually, you know what I could do? Should we do some gold? Let's do some gold. Always liking that idea. I'll do this one. And a little bit of this one. Let me get my... I got to get my other set of these out because my gold is almost gone. So I add a little bit of this other one. They're not quite the same, but this one's a little bit too dark, I feel like. So I like to... Yeah, I think I like that. That is good. I'll bring it up so you guys can see. And then I'm going to get it dry and I'm going to come back and... Okay, so what I'm going to do, and I could mess this all up because my handwriting is atrocious, but I'm going to kind of purposefully make it almost not legible, but... So, its scientific name is lavendula. I did not know that. So I'm just going to kind of... So it's definitely not legible and doesn't really look like anything, but I just... Okay, you're gonna have a weird cut there because I like wrote on this and everything and said goodbye, and then I was like, you know, they might want to see it without the tape. So I'm gonna take the tape off, and then that way you at least get to see it done. And I might put a frame around it. I did sign it. But yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Probably broke your eardrums. Like, yeah, they might want to actually see it without bright yellow tape on it. Okay. Get that out of the way.
I was putting my bedding in the washing machine.
Oh, okay. I'm doing video still. But I thought you were leaving, so I was like, oh. So I'm going to put my, you guys have seen me do this, but just my little frame thing around it here. Yeah, I'm kind of dopey that way. I'm always like, oh, we're done. Okay, we're done. And then I turn off the camera and think, oh, yeah, they might want to, like, you know, see it finished and stuff. And then I also like to just kind of make a little squiggle on these corners. You can double it. I mean, there's lots of fun things you can do with that. And you don't do it all because a lot of people don't, that make art, obviously they don't do that. But anyway, there is all complete, and I love the gold. I don't know if you guys can see the gold, but it's very pretty. All right, so I hope you guys give it a try, and I will chat at you again soon. Love you guys. Bye.